Danielle Smith's bold move. Carney shut down in live TV Showdown. In a striking live television confrontation, Alberta Premier Danielle Smith articulated a sentiment that has been echoing throughout the province, a pervasive fear of Ottawa's policies and their detrimental impacts on Alberta's economy. This fear is not merely about political differences. It's a reflection of the lived experiences of many Albertans who feel their livelihoods are being threatened by decisions made far from their homes. Smith's remarks resonate deeply with a populace that has felt increasingly marginalized by federal decisions that seem disconnected from the realities of life in Alberta. For over a decade, Alberta's economy has faced relentless challenges, not from global market forces, but from federal policies perceived as increasingly hostile. Smith emphasized that the difficulties confronting Alberta's oil and gas sector are not accidental. They're the result of intentional federal decisions aimed at regulating and controlling a vital industry. Federal regulations, carbon taxes, and ideological frameworks imposed by the Liberal NDP coalition have conspired to stifle growth in a sector that has historically been the backbone of the province's economy. This regulatory environment has led to significant job losses and economic uncertainty, contributing to a sense of crisis among workers and families dependent on the energy sector. The impact of these policies has been felt at every level, from workers on rigs to families relying on the energy sector for their livelihoods. Smith's message was clear. The frustrations of Albertans are deeply rooted in their daily realities, and they deserve to have their voices heard in Ottawa. Many citizens have expressed feelings of betrayal, believing that their contributions to the national economy have been overlooked in favor of a narrative that vilifies fossil fuel production. This narrative has fostered a growing resentment among Albertans, who feel that their hard work and economic output are taken for granted. With Mark Carney now leading the Liberal Party and serving as Prime Minister, Smith's challenge was particularly pointed. She questioned Carney's true identity. Is he the pragmatic banker who understands the intricacies of markets and the importance of job creation? Or is he simply an ideological successor to Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, focused on pursuing ambitious climate goals at the expense of Alberta's working class? Carney's background in global finance gives him a unique perspective, but Smith's remarks suggested that this experience may not translate into an understanding of Alberta's needs. Her delivery was not marked by fiery rhetoric. Instead, it was cool and calculated, aiming to cut through the political noise to address the core concerns of Alberta's citizens. Smith's stance represents a significant shift in Alberta's political landscape. She made it clear that Alberta is not threatening to leave Canada. Rather, it is asserting its right to self-determination and autonomy. This is a critical distinction in the ongoing dialogue about Alberta's role within the Federation. Smith is prepared to wield the legal tools available to her, such as referendums and autonomy legislation, to push back against what many see as federal overreach. This proactive approach signals a new era in Alberta politics, where leaders are willing to challenge the status quo and advocate fiercely for the province's interests. This movement is not merely a reaction to specific policies, but a broader assertion of Alberta's right to control its own destiny. The message is clear. Albertans are ready to take action and demand that their interests are prioritized in the national conversation. In her remarks, Smith reminded both Carney and the Canadian public that Alberta has been a significant contributor to the national economy. Over the years, Alberta has provided billions in equalization payments, helping to support provinces across Canada. Yet, despite this contribution, many Albertans feel vilified and marginalized by the federal government. This perceived injustice has fueled a growing desire among Albertans to reclaim their narrative and demand acknowledgement of their role in Canada's economic framework. The backlash against federal policies is not a matter of partisanship. It is about survival. Albertans are not opposed to environmental stewardship. Rather, they advocate for a realistic approach that acknowledges their contributions to clean technology and methane reduction. Alberta has made strides in these areas, yet Ottawa often overlooks these achievements in favor of broader climate agendas that seem disconnected from the province's economic realities. Smith's assertion of Alberta's leadership in clean energy initiatives serves to underscore the province's commitment to responsible resource management, challenging the narrative that Alberta is solely focused on fossil fuels. As Carney embarks on his tenure as Prime Minister, he faces a province that is no longer asking for polite dialogue but is demanding respect and recognition. Smith's assertive stance is not merely performative. It reflects a growing movement among Albertans who feel their concerns have been ignored for far too long. The dynamics between Alberta and the federal government are evolving, and the pressure is mounting for Ottawa to respond meaningfully. The question now is whether Carney will engage with Alberta's leadership in a way that acknowledges the province's unique challenges and contributions, or whether he will continue to pursue policies that alienate a significant portion of the country. The relationship between Alberta and Ottawa is at a critical juncture. With Danielle Smith leading the charge, Alberta is poised to take a more assertive role in shaping its future. The province is demanding a seat at the table, and the onus is on Carney to provide a response that addresses the concerns raised by Smith and the people of Alberta. In this evolving political landscape, the stakes are high. The potential for increased tension between Alberta and the federal government could lead to a significant recalibration of how provincial and federal powers interact. As Smith continues to advocate for Alberta's interests, it will be crucial for Carney to recognize the urgency of the situation and engage in a constructive dialogue that seeks to bridge the divide. Danielle Smith's bold move in the recent live television showdown has set the stage for a critical confrontation between Alberta and Ottawa. As the province demands recognition, respect, and autonomy, the challenge now lies with Mark Carney and the federal government. Will they listen to the voices of Albertans, or will they continue down a path that risks further alienating a province that is essential to Canada's economic fabric? As Alberta stands firm in its resolve to reclaim control over its economic future, the implications of this showdown extend beyond provincial borders. It sends a clear message. Alberta will not remain silent in the face of perceived injustices, and it is prepared to take action to protect its interests. The future of Alberta and its relationship with Ottawa hangs in the balance, and the outcome of this political struggle will shape the course of Canadian governance for years to come. The stakes are not just about policy. They are about identity, respect, and the future direction of a province that has long been a cornerstone of Canada's economy. As this confrontation unfolds, all eyes will be on how both leaders navigate this pivotal moment in Canadian history.